As we move on to our next phase, we have a great keynote speaker with us today. From what I understand, it's unusual to get him, even though he's from the area. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Ed Sturrock, who is the Chief Technology Officer and co-founder at Cart.com. Ed, he is a commerce, tech, and logistics powerhouse that's achieved remarkable heights in just two and a half years, 6,000 customers, 1,000 employees, and a valuation exceeding $1.2 billion. At Cart, Ed helps brands grow and sell online across Amazon, Walmart, eBay, Google, and 2,000 plus other channels by building tech to power Cart.com's international footprint of brands across 5 different software product lines and growing. Ed made waves in the e-commerce industry by building AmeriCommerce and running Capital One's national commerce strategy. He is an entrepreneur at heart and loves helping small businesses succeed and build by navigating the chaos that is a startup. Ed is an advisor, board member for numerous startups and nonprofits, and co-founded ShareBuilder 401k, who helps small businesses save by offering affordable 401ks. Please help me welcome Ed Sturrock.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. All right, well, thank y'all for having me up here, and thank you for everybody that went before me. You know, the separate sessions have been really informative. I was giving Charles and Jane a hard time for not falling off the stage or something, so I could follow them with their great content, but unfortunately they didn't fall. So, good job, everyone. Y'all did a great job. Let's see if this works. So I run a little program called Plaid Academy. I like Plaid. And so this is about building through the chaos, right? If you have been a startup, if you have started your own business, let's show of hands. Has anybody, who all has started their own business at some time in the past, right? Lots of entrepreneurs in here. I love it. You know that it's chaotic. You know that you wear a lot of hats. You know that there's a lot of chaos that kind of goes through being a startup. It can get winding, but it can be so great as well on the other side of things. So this is a lot of tips around, I call it tiplets about building through the chaos of startup life. We've done a lot to build 2 billion-dollar businesses, essentially. And so Cart.com is valued at around $1.26 billion. ShareBuilder itself also is assets under management is in the multiple billions as well. And two very different businesses at the end of the day, both started from nothing. So here's a few tips, that kind of helped us through the journey as we kind of built the team out. I'm going to get a few things out of the way. Uh-oh. There it goes. All right, so next slide again. There we go. I'm a nerd. Let's get that out of the way. I like zombies. I'm a geek. I like MCU, DCU. I enjoy cars. I enjoy goofing off, and I enjoy making a lot of really cheesy dad jokes. So I apologize in advance. I kind of mentioned it, but I am also a platter. I love plaid. You might say I'm not really wearing a lot of plaid today, but you have to look a little deeper. It's on the socks today. So, and separately, I love our area. Lamar University has been so good to us over the years. I love Beaumont. I love downtown Beaumont. I have a very, very specific passion for downtown Beaumont and how centrally located it is to all of Southeast Texas. It's like a hidden gem that continues to need investment. Been loving seeing all the murals and everything pop up. Thanks, Dean. All of the work going into downtown. If you haven't seen the new plans for downtown, very exciting. Something to kind of dream about, as we iterate through downtown Beaumont. But I love our area. I also am an investor. Brian mentioned it, but I like to grow things. And I'm a builder as well. I like to build things. from all the chaos. The way I get my kicks is just building things, and I do it with a lot of help. It's not me, like it's everybody around me. I wanted to start with like the first tip, which is essentially anybody can be an entrepreneur, right? No matter your background, race, status, religion, upbringing, etc. You can build a business. All you need is a little perseverance, a little grit, and you can do this. So if there's anything to take away from this, it's you can do it. We've built a few things that I've built with lots of help. Share Builder, 401k. We just help small businesses create 401k plans for their employees at a very, very, very low cost. That's kind of our shtick is, help America save. We have, thousands and thousands of businesses on the platform. It's all based out of Seattle, it's a semi-remote company as well. So we built the entire infrastructure for Share Builder 401k. We've also built AmeriCommerce right here out of Beaumont. We started helping people sell stuff in 2002, and we helped them sell stuff online. That was our thing. We were your website, we were your shopping cart. You added your things to the cart, and then we would process the credit card, and then we would process the order at the end of the day and help you ship it out your back door. That has then transitioned into Cart.com. Cart is a commerce and logistics platform here recently. So we, again, help brands sell online. We also help them ship their products actually to your front door. We have warehouses all across the country. We help brands scale fast and maximize their profits. Just a little bit about Cart, just brands that trust us. We have a lot of brands that trust us. We have Tom's, Katy Perry, Marriott, U.S. Hockey, Under Armour, Dillard's, Guess Jeans. All of those use us for our various services. We have 6,000 customers all over the world. We just crossed the 1.2 valuation range. Again, this all started out right here out of Beaumont. We went from 14 employees all the way to 1,500 now. We just grew by about 500 employees through an acquisition here in the last month. So my talking points were not updated. Sorry, Brian. But we process 41 million orders, and we have 14 distribution centers all over the country, 6 million square feet, a little over 6 million square feet. And we just help you sell online. I won't bore you with the things, but if you have products, we just kind of help you sell online. We do it on Amazon, on eBay, Etsy, your own website, and then we then ship and fulfill all of those orders all over the country in 1 to 2 days. So we have the 14 fulfillment centers, and we basically can cover something like 80 to 90% of the country with 1 to 2 day shipping with that. So very similar to Amazon, we can get it right to your front door in a very short amount of time. And so we help you with all those logistics. And then lastly, we help you predict kind of what's happening with, there's the fulfillment center, sorry, one behind. And we help you predict everything with machine learning and AI. So we actually take all of the signal from all of your various channels and where you're selling. We run it through our machine learning models, and then we help predict your ability to sell in various channels. We help predict how quickly you can get something to a particular set of customers. So logistics automation, selling automation, marketing automation, all of that is kind of part of the suite. And how did we do this? Like that's the thing. Like, how did we scale these two businesses, and what are some of those tips? It's total cliche. All started in a garage, multiple garages back to back. Lance knows, he was there. It did not look like this garage. This is the Tony Stark garage from Iron Man, if you're familiar. That journey started in 2005. Technically in 2002 is when we started really building, but we really launched national in 2004 and 2005. 3 guys met up. We joined forces in a warehouse, in a garage essentially, and we built a fun and hardworking culture. We had a lot of incredibly good personalities that all came together to build what we were building, and that we wouldn't be here today if that didn't happen. So it all started quite a while back. And we built out AmeriCommerce. We helped you sell stuff online. That was kind of journey one. And then we decided one tip that we really needed to do is we could not do it all, right? We needed to partner up, and we needed to do things more than just what we could build. And so we took our own advice, and we partnered up with over 100 various different providers. You know, all of the names you know and love: Apple Pay, PayPal, Affirm, Stripe, Shopify, Zettle, Shipper HQ, et cetera, et cetera. Google, always a really good partner as well. And another quick tip is like building a plaid company, right? Plaid is just a bunch of colored stripes all crisscrossing out each other. You need to build a company of like strong people that all augment each other's weaknesses. You hire where you suck, you know, like I can't do it all. You need to augment. Don't get somebody that's just a carbon copy of you, right? You get somebody that can actually augment you and do something a little different than the way you would approach it. Make that a very diverse, colorful crowd of people that is all around you, you know. Hire the guy that interviews in flip-flops, you know, like take a chance. There's a reason he showed up in flip-flops. If Ryan Olson was here, he would appreciate that joke. But yeah, so hire a plaid company, build a plaid company, make it colorful, make it diverse. And another tip is like creating a comfortable atmosphere, supporting individualism, encourage debate. Like, don't silence everybody. Like, you're the leader of your small business. Bring people around you that you can collaborate with, not dictate to. Very important for growing and scaling a business. You do that, you make a diverse culture that is also collaborative. You've got a winning culture on your hands. And ultimately, we built a culture of goofballs. A couple of things that might be a little hard to see, but a lot of Nerf guns. One guy went on vacation. We foil wrapped his entire desk. We even foil wrapped his quarters and pennies that he had on his desk. We were very thorough. That is a 40-foot flash poster on the wall as well. So again, culture of goofballs, culture of geeks. One of the things that we learned while we were doing that is wear many hats. Like, you've got like one Plaid Academy tip here. Like, you've got to do a little bit of everything. Sorry, you're an entrepreneur. That's what you signed up for. Take that as that opportunity to learn, to grow, yes, it can be hard, but you are going to grow so much faster than you ever expected if you do a little bit of everything. And then put your customer needs in front of your own, you know. Learn from your customers. You live or die by your customers. Get to know them, you know, solve their problem as a startup, as any business, right? It doesn't matter what industry you're in. I'm in tech, doesn't really matter. If you know your customers and you know what they want and you're solving a problem for them, the money will flow to your business. That's something that you typically learn in startup camps, et cetera. Like, start with the problem, right? Don't start with revenue. Don't start with like, I just want to be the boss. I want to sell more. Here's a great opportunity. No, start with the problem and then figure out how you can solve that problem for your customers. So a little bit into the journey, you know, AmeriCommerce, we sold to Capital One, 2014. We thought the build was complete. Are we done yet? Like what, what's going on next, you know? And we kind of helped everybody continue to build out the products and services of Capital One's commerce ecosystem. So we ended up helping people process credit cards and other things. We took over all of the commerce business unit inside of Capital One. And so in 2015, we built a new office right at the top of Edison Plaza. Some of you have seen that before. We did a few little sessions here and there to invite people in. We built a really cool office, cool vibe. You know, lots of games. They had a little social center, had desks all through the back. And we'll skip that one. There we go. And one of the tips that we learned while we were at Capital One, and I'm sorry if anybody, I saw Kevin on the thing. He was with us at one point. You know, there's a lot of meetings at Capital One. I'm sorry, you know, that was stealing our souls. So If I could give you one advice, be careful with your meetings. We're somewhat more remote friendly now, so you have to have some meetings to open up to people. But let's not make sure you don't do it overboard. We kind of have a rule that per group, we have one group meeting a week at most, right? Anything else is tactical problem solving. So if you're going to get on a call with somebody, you're working on a particular project, and you're working on it. So just don't add a lot of meetings on the calendar. That gives you time, that gives you focus. There's a reason for that. Plus, it doesn't steal your soul. So, and then ultimately, know your market. One of the things that we learned while we were at Capital One is we started doing credit card processing. Well, we were storefront software. We were helping people sell online, and processing is a piece of that, but it wasn't really the thing. And so, we rebranded as Spark Pay. We changed. AmeriCommerce went away, and what we learned is that was not an easy journey at all. We lost a lot of our leads as we just lost the branding. We did everything right. We really did do everything right. We followed every checkbox that we tell people how to do online, and we still dropped in lead count, lead quality, because it was too much of a mixed message. We didn't really know our market. You know what we didn't do? We didn't ask our customers, what did they want? Do they really care about credit card processing? No, they didn't really care because they could get it anywhere, right? They cared about the feature, the functionality, and they saw us kind of potentially dying under Capital One, and they told us with their wallet, And so it was really interesting. I saw those dynamics, and in 2017, we acquired ourselves back. We bought ourselves. So we spun back out. We were the first corporate spin-off in Capital One history, and we did it really well. And ultimately, we completed the journey, and we started growing again, and we found our groove back. So we put all of the fundamentals of helping you sell online back in place. We started talking to our customers again. We didn't have a 3-month legal review for a blog post. Everything just really sped up as soon as we spun back off. And so if anything, one of the things that we had to do was we had to get our hands dirty. You wear multiple hats as a small business owner, but you also need to get your hands dirty. So the future belongs to the few of us that are willing to actually get our hands dirty. So we did just that, led by example. We found a downtown building. We were passionate about downtown Beaumont. We found a downtown building. You can kind of see it on the left there. It was pretty rough when we got it. We did a little pencil sketch, Lance is much better at sketching than I am, but this is my best shot at it. And then we renovated the entire building, and we did it in 3D first, just to kind of get a feel for the layout and all that. This is an app on my phone. I did it over the weekend. It was really, really weird. But it worked. It gave us exactly where we needed to put the desks and kind of the layout of the office. And then we built it for real. We did the renovations. And then we, all right, sorry, gotta have a sync there. And so one of the things that we learned during that is just we were running a business and we were renovating a building that was a lot more than we thought, was gonna happen. There was a lot at once. But we had to learn, just put one foot in front of the other. So Plaid Academy tip here, keep your drumbeat of success going. The drummers don't stop. They set the pace of the entire band. They put one foot in front of the other. Every day's a new day. Start over, give it another go, and just keep progressing. That's the main thing that you need to do. Is if you do that and you look back, a month from now, you're going to be in such a better place than you were previously. So hold your head up high and go. So yes, drummers. One of those is a drummer, and one of those is Will Ferrell, in case you can't see. If you like Red Hot Chili Peppers, and then you like that slide. And then in 2020, we finished the building, just in time for the pandemic. Awesome. So it's a beautiful building, downtown Beaumont. We walked right into the pandemic. So it was a couple of us just kind of by ourselves there, most days. And then, we talk a lot about networking. I spent a lot of time in our early years with Charlie, with Stefan. We didn't know each other. We just kind of came together. We just met, it was a little event kind of like this. This happened again, like through Lamar University, their Center for Entrepreneurship, at Lamar. We met Remington at the Cannon, who was running the Cannon, which is an incubator out in Houston. Just a little site visit is all it was, no big deal. We went and checked it out. Like, cool space, and we talked. And then ultimately through that networking, Remington networked to Omer, and Omer networked to Chase. And then we four came together and said, let's actually do something to change the shape of commerce. Let's swing for the fences. I've been doing commerce for a long time. Like, I wanted to do something wildly different. And that's when Cart.com was born. And so the reinvention happened roughly around 2020, the end of 2020, November actually. And so we joined forces and we started something brand new. So I guess the tip there is network, meet people, make moves. Game-changing relationships can be made anywhere. Some of it can happen over a lunch, some of it can happen at an event like this, some of it can happen just from somebody who knows somebody, right? My dad made some connections for me. Like he's just like an old hippie that just like pointed some people my way. They come from anywhere. So don't forget to network. And then overall, the top factors of success across 200 or more companies, it's timing, and it's the team and your ability to execute. Notice, this is kind of a shocker to me. Notice where funding is on that chart. Funding is the least important of your success factors. You need money to grow. If you're solving a problem, people are going to throw money at you. So if you can show that trend and your customer and your vision for your company, you will grow and people will give you the money to do the funding. So figure out your timing and figure out your execution and your team first. Notice even business model is the next lowest. I thought that was fascinating to me. So as we grew, we actually we need to do the stats on this, but we think we might be the fastest growing company, either in Texas, potentially the U.S. for this year. And so we went from roughly a few $1 million in sales all the way to $150 million in 18 months. We grew from 14 people to 1,500, and it was an insane ramp, and it was incredibly chaotic. We beat out Deal, we beat out Slack, Twilio, Coupa, ServiceNow, some of the fastest growing companies on the planet. We actually beat them out. So we're very proud of that. It took a lot to make that happen, and it was incredibly chaotic. But the one thing that we did and we learned from that was we had a big vision. We didn't have it all figured out. Speak less, start you must, right? Stop talking about your big idea and shut up and go do it, You got to chip away at your big idea. Just start. So big tip there. We just kind of dove in, kind of naive. I've been in this space for a long time, and I was thinking like, we're going way too fast. This is crazy. There was times where I was wanting to slow down. I've always been the fast one. But that's where that networking played out. Like Omer, Remington, first run at Commerce, they wanted to just go fast, And so I'm like, let's do it. Let's see what we can do. One of the things that we learned was we knew this from previous gigs. It starts with your vision, and then you kind of build out from there. So typical slide here, everybody's heard it, but vision, mission, turn it into programs, actions, and projects. And just remember to weave your core beliefs all the way through it. But vision knows the future, right? So if you're a geek like me and you watched all of the Marvel MCU stuff, then he knows the future, and he knows kind of what's coming. So try to future cast your business and see what's up. As we built really fast. We grew really fast. Some of that growth was 10 acquisitions, right? We didn't just buy people up just because, right? We knew what gaps we needed to fill. And so we didn't stop. We just doubled down on what was winning and what was selling. We made sure we were solving problems. We filled the gaps with each acquisition. Another nerd reference, Voltron, all of the robots came together to build the bigger robot, right? And so each one of them served a very unique piece of the puzzle, right? Right arm, left arm, you're the sword arm, better do well with it. Left foot, right foot, torso. So that's something that you have to do as you're growing. fill your gaps, fill your weaknesses. If you can't do it and you can't build it, go figure out how you can buy it and bring it into your company. Or to the earlier point, partner up and fill those gaps. And then ultimately, like, try, test, fail, repeat. A lean startup approach here, you have to test your way into things, especially big decisions. Like, how do you know? How do you know that that's going to work? You'll never win if you don't try. So hang in there. Zombies never quit, right? So in this case, be the zombie. And then ultimately, 2 slides, don't worry, Brian. Happiness is friends, it's family, it's connections, it's experiences. This is backed by science. This is not me saying this. Like, there's plenty of research on this. Those connections help you build purpose. If you do that and you build that purpose and you give back to your community, then you will find happiness. We all have our ups and downs, but just remember your family and your friends and your community and help them do it. And then ultimately, the last point here is teach others to build their own dreams. Like, you're the entrepreneurs in this room, right? Nearly everybody raised their hand. Building is an art. Building a business is an art. It's a very inexact science. It really should be taught and passed on. We have a community. We have a responsibility to build it together and to drive happiness for everybody, not just for the leaders of the community. So teach others to build. And with that, thank you. I appreciate the time, and hopefully that was valuable.
Ed, thank you so much for sharing.